What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another Fortnite Battle Royale video. I've been having fun with these like news slash updates, topical commentary videos. So we got another one here for you today. If you guys have not heard the news, essentially this is from Reddit about a day ago. We've received a lot of feedback on this subject, and it's something we've been watching closely. Today we're making a change in an attempt to reduce team killing in Fortnite Battle Royale. Starting immediately, we're going to disable friendly fire. This change will not require a client update. We understand that when players abuse friendly fire, it can be an incredibly frustrating experience. However, we also recognize that friendly fire encourages thoughtful play and careful tactics. The impact of this change will be closely monitored, and in the case that those tactics are too negatively affected, we may evaluate other methods of reducing team killing. Let us know your thoughts. So, I want to let you guys know my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, and more importantly, I need everybody to express their thoughts to the Fortnite Battle Royale, Twitter account. Find some of the developers or some of the community managers on Twitter and mention them. Let them know on Twitter what your thoughts are. If you're a Reddit guy, get on Reddit, reply to this exact thread right here. The Epic accounts are active in the Fortnite BR Reddit, and they really do go over everything in there, and they evaluate what everybody's saying, and they make changes accordingly. So, here are my thoughts on the situation. Obviously, the bullet notes here, the main point is that all team damage has been taken out of the game. There is no team damage whatsoever. No friendly fire. That's bullets, that's sniper rounds, AR rounds, pistol rounds, explosives, rockets, grenades, grenade launcher. All of it has been disabled. Now, here's my problem with that. I think, my opinion, is that when you're playing a shooter game that's based on team gameplay, there has to be consequences to sloppy shots, or maybe you're just being greedy and you're defending yourself and not worrying about your teammates or whatever. I just think that friendly fire in a game, especially like Fortnite, friendly fire plays a really important role. And maybe some of you guys don't agree with me, and I also don't want people to think I have like a god complex or something. I mean, this is Fortnite's game. They're going to do whatever the hell they want with it, and if I don't like it, then it is what it is. Obviously, I have no power in the situation, but I think they've made a lot of really smart moves in this game and done a lot of really good stuff for gameplay as a whole. But I think they've also made some questionable decisions, and I really just feel like a lot of it is to do with the fact that it's a free-to-play game, and it's attracting a lot of younger players. So not only are the opinions young and maybe misinformed, but also you're gonna have things more. You're gonna have things more frequent when it comes to like team killing and griefing and stuff like that in a game where a large majority of the player base are young kids. I mean, you've got a lot of console players and stuff like that. I think a lot of it also has to do with the console player base is a lot different than the PC player base. I would assume that the average player age on the consoles is a lot younger than the PC experience. I know from my own experience now, albeit I almost exclusively play duos with Cool. He's in this video right here. I do play solos from time to time. Obviously, you're not going to run into griefing in that. When I do play squads, like a lot of times I'll have one or two friends. I go no-fill, which is an important thing to mention here. There is a no-fill option. I saw somebody on Twitter that replied to my tweet, and they were like, well, what if you only have 3 friends? You can't play duos, you can't play squads. You can play squads. Go into squads, no-fill it. I do it all the time. Your chances of winning aren't that much different, in my opinion. I've had very good games with only 2 people on my team in squads, as opposed to having 3 people. Obviously, that's going to reduce your chances of team killing and griefing, but me personally, I don't think I have ever been intentionally griefed or team killed in this game, whether it be for loot or just the person's own personal enjoyment. Now, as I said, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I always play with, friends, or I just play solos if I don't have friends, or I just no-fill, or, I'm playing with subscribers on Twitch, or whatever. You know, so I think that has a lot to do with it, but I personally haven't even experienced this very much. So I was really, really surprised whenever I saw that they were making this drastic of a gameplay adjustment. There is a report system in place already, but obviously that must not be working very well. I think the report system is a step in the right direction, but I don't know what they're doing as far as punishment goes. Like if somebody gets reported for team killing a dozen times in a week, is anything really happening to that player? Are they evaluating it? Do they have enough employees to evaluate those situations and evaluate them accordingly? I don't know. But I hate the idea of just getting rid of it because, you know, it's a problem for some, because it's not a problem for everybody. I like the fact that whenever I'm in a situation and it starts popping off, and like think about 2 teams of 4 in squads pushing each other, a base raid, you know, a base defense, whatever. You know, sometimes when it pops off, you've got 8 people in a small area and shooting shotguns. You know, I'll just use shotguns for this example, but, you know, sometimes you have to be really careful with your shots and not put shots into your teammates, and I think that's a good thing. That's something that a player should be focused on and should be thinking about, and, you know, there's got to be consequences to those sloppy shots, in my opinion. Otherwise, it's just going to be a shit show. It's going to be a free-for-all. I tweeted this out, and I've had a lot of opinions about it. You know, I had somebody say, well, you know, team killing or team damage is just annoying whether it's intentional or not, so we should just get rid of it. And again, I think there should be consequences to sloppy shots, to, you know, what we just tactics, I guess, that, you know, like you have to be intelligent about it. Oh, my buddy built a base over there and he's trying to heal up, someone's pushing him. I can't just lob grenades in the direction of my teammate who's trying to heal, because I might do damage to them too. And I think that's the way it should be. Now, it's not going to be like that. Imagine you see your friend, he's off in a 1v1, or maybe there's 3 people around him, and they're all shooting shotguns at your buddy. Normally, you wouldn't be able to help with explosives, and it'd be hard to help even with an assault rifle, or, you know, maybe even a sniper rifle, anything. You're going to have to be really careful with your shots and everything. He's surrounded, you've got distance in between the whole situation. Now, all you got to do, if anybody on your team has explosives, you're just going to spam the shit out of the area with rockets, with rocket launcher, with grenades. It doesn't matter. There's no repercussion to, you know, there's no consequences to that situation anymore. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to the 3 people that just pushed your solo teammate. You know, that you can just now lob nades in the direction and hope for the best, because you don't have to worry about what's going to happen to your teammate. I don't know. I just think it's kind of silly. I think that there's a very important place for team killing. See, that's the thing. Not necessarily team killing. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But team damage. Team damage should not be gotten away with, in my opinion. One of the first things I thought was, you know, coming from a Call of Duty background, was Ricochet. If you guys are familiar with Call of Duty, when you were in the hardcore, wait, I don't remember. I think it was just certain playlists, or was it all? I don't remember, but they had some sort of instance of Ricochet team damage, and what that meant was if you did damage to one of your teammates, then the damage was immediately reflected back to you. The teammate still took the damage as well, but the damage was also reflected back to you in an equal amount. So if you shoot your friend in the head with a AR, right, and it does 50 damage, just for example's sake, you would also take that 50 damage to yourself. So not only in that case are you going to be maybe even more careful than what you were before, because before you didn't want to do damage to your teammates. Now you don't want to do damage to your teammates, but you also don't want to do it to yourself. So I think Ricochet is something that they could at least look into. I saw somebody else suggest ranked and social playlists, and that's not a bad idea, but I also just think, I don't know, this seems like just a situationally, like, game-wide decision, in my opinion. It's a step in the right direction. It's not a worse decision than just taking out of the game completely like they've done now. But I just think that because if I just want to play socials and just relax and, you know, maybe not try playing such sweaty tryhards, I still think there should be team damage. But that would be better than what they are trying to do now, in my opinion. So, you know, what are your all's thoughts? What are your concerns about it? I'm not a game developer, so I have no idea. but I would like to think there's already stat tracking in the game that goes beyond what we see in the game. We found that out from the emails that they sent out a while back. There was one of the statistics tracked was your furthest kill in the game, and as you know, in game itself you can't check that statistic physically within the game right now, but there was emails sent out and it was just like, oh, here's a cool little stat, you know, your longest kill is this, blah 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 blah. So that happened not too long ago. So I think that, you know, they're tracking a lot of stats that we don't know, and my point being is that I would think, say I do team damage enough to kill my teammate and he reports me, I think there'd be a way to have an algorithm within the game that once that report comes in, because obviously it can be a false report, it could also be a valid report, but once a report comes in, the algorithm would just cross-reference the statistics of the player, and it's going to see, okay, this person has done X amount of team damage in the last 24 hours, or maybe it does a 7-day evaluation or something like that, and then you would have some sort of a, you know, a ban system there. You know, if the person is reported, they've done over the threshold of team damage, because team damage happens all the time. God knows, watching my fucking gameplay, I accidentally kill my teammates all the time. It happens. My teammates accidentally kill me. It happens, but reports aren't coming in, right? So once player reports start coming in, the system in place would just check those analytics of the player, and it's like, okay, this person's been doing an excessive amount of team damage. Not the, you know, it's, the system would know based on the average player in the game, this person is doing an above average, you know, amount of team damage, and it's looking like it's not just sloppy gameplay, it's not just this person's bad, it's this person's griefing. And then you give that guy a cooldown. You know, they can't get online for 24 hours. Give them a 24-hour ban. Whatever. I feel like there just has to be something better than just completely disabling team damage. I don't know. I don't like it. I know that whenever these base raids and these close quarter fights and stuff are gonna happen now, I don't know. I don't feel like this is a change they're gonna stick with. I really hope that it's not. Obviously, you know, you guys know my opinion on it, but I feel like close quarter battles are gonna be just even more of a shit show. I mean, we're talking about a game that, you know, sometimes it takes 5, 6, 7 shots, you know, depending on how sloppy your aim is that day, to kill a player with a shotgun, you know. And now people knowing that, obviously, if you have any sort of explosives in your inventory, it doesn't matter who's around, people are just going to be spamming. As soon as they see a gunfight, it's just going to be all rockets, all nades, let them rip. And I don't know. I'm not looking forward to the consequences of this update. I really don't think it's a good move, and I just wanted to know your all's thoughts on it again. I do think, along with the social playlist and the ranked playlist, that's another thing that I think needs to be happening in this game. I think a ranked playlist makes a lot of sense for this game, and maybe that'll be a future video we can talk about. But anyways, again, be vocal about this update. If you love it, then cool. I don't agree with you, but cool. Be vocal about it. Make sure that your voice is heard on Reddit or on Twitter or wherever else. I don't know if Epic has like a Facebook account, whatever. Just be vocal about it and let your voice be heard. If you don't like the team fire being taken out, team damage being taken out, or if you're a fan of it, because Epic has been really good about rolling out updates and then watching the feedback from the community and adjusting accordingly. So this is one that I hope gets regressed. I hope they take this out or at least implement it in a different way or something. But love you guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be down there talking with you guys.